Our head official today is Brad Garrow. The two referees working with him, Luke Coyle and Darren Cassidy, and the CBO is Nathaniel Morrow. And the CBO is, Jeff?
The chief bench official.
There you go.
So he'll be watching changes. Big difference. We don't play with that during the regular season, so anybody trying to get a quick step on or off, changing a stick in there, they'll have the eyes on it.
Does that tend to lead to more illegal change fouls in the Baggataway, or are guys pretty used to it?
I think everybody, like getting here, definitely, when you've had the experience coming each year, not a huge thing, but little things become big things at this tournament. So one thing can lead to a cascade, so teams are aware, making sure they're changing properly. Offsides, too, they can watch for those. So
McGill with the first shot from Alec Erbstein, and that one is stopped. Nice save there by the goaltender for Guelph. That is Jacob Haynes starting between the pipes for the Griffins, and immediate pressure from Guelph to get that ball back, but it looks like McGill will once again get possession. They're going to push it forward. Nice run by John Moralia. Hands it off to Dylan James, the top scorer for the Redbirds. Passes it through. Great chance, but Rome Burrell turned aside. Was that a save, or did he just miss it? Either way, will not be the first goal of the game.
Just wide, but they kept possession there.
Isaiah Cree quickly up top.
The new advent of the shot clock, too. You see teams pushing it a little bit more. The old CUFLA, you could be outmatched, get the ball, get up a couple, and sit in the corner, lull your opponent to sleep. I think it's been a big improvement for the league having it, though. Made it a lot faster.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years now. We've had the 80-second shot clock. 60-second reset when the team shooting regains possession after a save. That ball doesn't get through. There's no shot. Dylan James fighting for it. He is knocked down from behind, and there's going to be a penalty. First one of the game will go to Ben Doherty, the Guelph defender.
See McGill going early. A lot of Americans on their team, usually heavy shooters, prefer to shoot outside. Our Canadian guys more try to zip it around and get her in. It'll be interesting to see what they go with here.
Did you know Dylan James is from the Peterborough area?
I did not.
And does not play box?
Interesting. Yeah, that's usually the start out here in Peterborough,
right?
For sure. Going to the Laker games and getting on the floor.
Right? Here's Dylan James with the ball now. Watched very closely by John Weller. Weller, a Minto Cup champion with Whitby last year. There's a big bump down the end line.
Yeah, well, defenders aren't going to like that.
No, that was the response that you expected to see. It was Liam McConnell lowering the boom, and he will head off to the box. I don't think anybody's going to mind too much that he let his feelings be known to Massimo Tovet.
They got to play physical this weekend. Teams sticking together are usually the teams that end up playing on that Sunday for sure.
Tovet bumping Jacob Hayne, the goaltenders. He went back to play that ball. It is windy. It's overcast, so the sun, not a huge issue, which it can be here. Coming in, slanting in. We had some regular season games where the sun was a real challenge. There's a chance in the first goal of the game, quickly scored by Tovet. Takes the pass from James, and that's just a lovely finish for the Redbirds.
Yeah, just as that first penalty was ending, you saw the goal defender running in there. They were able to thread the needle inside there, get a quick stick to get inside the goalie's hip there. Gill running a 2-3-1, just trying to isolate those defenders low. That was a good catch, too. Had to come across his body to get that. Massimo gets the goal.
It's interesting, Dylan James, who led McGill in the regular season scoring with 40 points, he actually led them in goals with 18. One more than both Rowan Burrell and John Moralia, and 3 more than Isaiah Cree. But he also had 22 assists. The next leading scorer on the team was Burrell with 24 points. Wow. So he almost matched their second leading scorer's total points with assists, which is pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I would imagine with the Guelph game plan there that they're going to try to not let him set up, shopping around, get all over his hands. We have some pretty legit defenders here this weekend in CUFLA, so you'll see a lot of pressure coming from those from the long poles.
Yeah, Jake Cook, number 11 for Guelph, and Nolan Schott, number 44, both all Canadians. You can see, actually we're looking at the middle here, of course, with the face-off coming up, but they are out there. And Nolan Schott, who just announced himself with a bang a couple of years ago at the Baggataway up at Nipissing as a freshman. Just
had a
dominating
great weekend.
tournament.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was a phenomenal shutdown defender. I know Trent had a lot of trouble with him that weekend. Took last year off and is back again. Looks like Guelph's still going to be short. When you're short man, you have to leave a wing open, wait for the possession. Now, interestingly, if that wing by the bench is open, he can come right out. But since they had a little mix-up there, they're going to have to wait here for a possession.
Definite edge to McDonald, but Guelph going after it. The edge does play out, though, as McGill gets possession. Redbirds coming to the offensive zone. Morelia will hand it off. There's James once again. He will have the ball in his stick a ton.
Still man down.
Yeah, McConnell still on the side.
And you can see James just shopping, trying to find the quick feed inside.
All Canadian on attack. You can see the wrap on his right leg. He actually barely played last week in their playoff game. They were fine. They didn't really need him, so they just rested him up a bit. But Nick Suber said, yeah, no, he'll be ready to go. Just, everyone this time of year has had a bit of a bang up here or there. Here comes Guelph into the offensive zone. We'll see if, with Nicholas Volkov with the ball, what they are able to do. Volkov.
Strong midi defender for them.
He really is. Drafted in the first round by the Albany Firewolves. Very lucky to have him here. We are missing one really key player in this matchup, and that's the game later. We'll get to that when it becomes relevant.
Yeah, always a factor this weekend.
Yeah.
NLL camp starting. Some of these good young Canadian players getting their shot. You can't hold kids back, so some rosters going on without them, and they would love to be here if they could, but pretty special chance to be able to play pro lacrosse.
Well, for their first offensive set, and Robbie Baxter, one of their All-Canadians on attack, fights his way through and scores to even it up. That's a great individual effort. They just kind of clear out and let Baxter cook.
Wow. Then the McGill defense staying real tight there. Baxter had pressure all over him. And you'll see this defender clear out for him, comes around, and there's no slide that comes to him. Five's a little bit late there on the Coma slide, and he's able, falling backwards with Bedore in the late slide there to go a top shelf there. That's the even up they needed. This tournament, you always got to answer back. Trying to limit runs is definitely going to help. Face-off battle again.
McDonald going after it, but he's going to be beaten to the punch by Owen Williams. Come up with a huge collision, yeah. And Williams is looking shaken up. Shot will start with the ball. That 30-second.
Yeah, just a trip there.
So Guelph with a chance here to try and take the edge. They'll start with the ball in the stick of Ben Doherty.
Guelph sets up high. Look for the McGill defenders to shoot out at the ball here. Guelph will get a bit of motion.
Over to Volkov. Pass down the pass back.
Oh, nice
across,
pass.
and a nice finish, too, on the touch by Liam Aston, the other attack All-Canadian for Guelph. They are a potent offensive force. You can see why here.
Great cross crease pass there. You can see Guelph. They're just trying to get McGill's defense moving, open up a couple seams there. But that fast ball movement, fake gets him to bite and freeze. Cross crease, and there's no one there. Bedore can't make that slide all the way down from the top. He's got time and space.
So hard when you're shorthanded like that. When the ball movement comes and it's east-west, somebody's going to be open.
Oh, discipline is so key on this weekend. You're getting a hack here, there. You just have to take it, because going to the penalty kill is just so hard with these teams. Sharpshooters everywhere. Got to stay out of the box. Limiting those penalties is huge, huge, huge this weekend.
Louis-Antoine Abb, one of the captains for the Redbirds, had it there, number 18. He's an honorable mention All-Canadian as well. Brock
is on your brain today.
They are.
Eh?
I don't know what's going on, man. Guelph has 5 All-Canadians plus an honorable mention in Volkov. Interesting that Western, all 3 of the West Conference midfielders on the All-Canadian team are from Western.
Yeah.
That's astonishing.
Yeah. You don't see that a lot, having the full line together.
McGill
James
trying to work it through as they are now trailing after getting that first goal. James once again with possession, watched closely by Jake Cook. Pair of All-Canadians on each other. You can go to CUFLA.ca and see the full list of the All-Canadians. Rowan Burrell, hard rip, and the North Vancouver native has tied it up 2-2 for McGill.
Hey, different way to score, but same spot on this goalie. Right inside that hip. And Guelph's bringing good pressure here. You'll see the slide come quick as he turns his back. Gets over, another slide, and able just to, they get caught a little bit too low, and he's got a little bit of time. Burrell makes no mistake.
Very talented young man, Burrell, a big kid. Needs to fill out into his frame a bit, still just a youngster. I believe he's 18, maybe 19 now.
Yeah, a lot of age disparity. Sometimes you look at some of the vets that have been around 5-6 years and some of these true freshmen coming in.
Sam McDonald was a great face-off win, running away from Detweiler. Hands it off there to Burrell, the last goal scorer. Tied it up as we are 9 minutes into this first quarter. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us on Lacrosse TV for the 2023 Baggataway Cup. The second quarterfinal will be tonight at 7:30. That will be Trent versus Brock, who I'll probably call Guelph all night.
Yeah, there you go. It's the red jerseys playing tricks on your brain.
Right. Trent's easy because they're going to be the ones in white and green, not have any red. Tomorrow, the games are at 1:30 and 4:30, the two semifinals. Pass inside. Burrell thought he had it slipped to the turf. McGill was actually here a couple weeks ago playing Trent in the final regular season game in which Trent clinched second seed in the East. And the players are having a little trouble slipping on the turf. They were finding it a little bit slick. There had been some rain. See how things adjust this weekend as Liam Aston, 19 goal scorer in the regular season, heads down into the corner.
Yeah, but this colder weather coming, it does tend to make the turf a little bit slick, especially as the sun goes down. So probably be more of an impact tonight, but you're starting to see it right now for sure.
Doherty will invert and then hand the ball off to Volkov.
See big dodge from the top here. He'll look for the slide and dump.
He's so fast, and he hands it off, and that one's ripped off the post by Doherty. A heavy, heavy shot. Gets well out of play, but it will be Guelph possession.
And so you'll see all the time the shot goes by, it's first to where the ball goes out. So if that ball hits the crossbar and goes out at half, it's still first closest to that ball. So you'll see guys racing all weekend to try and get that possession back.
Again, with Guelph getting it back, they'll get 60 seconds back on the shot clock. Here's Ethan Lee, who had 6 goals in the regular season and then 5 last week in Guelph's playoff game.
McGill playing really tight defense there, backer style, just trying to keep it tight. Slides are close. Daring the Griffins to shoot from outside.
Joseph Beam trying to bomb it down, and Rowan Burrell with a little bit of backup saves the day as Jack Busby wasn't able to get up and get it. Busby, number 30, is going to head off for a change, and Burrell will leave it there for Moralia. And they get into the offensive set, but nice hustle, nice awareness by Burrell.
Both teams doing a good job of changing through the exit midfield there, make sure they get the matchups that they want.
Sam Kozakowski was telling me he's the Guelph coach, has been forever, literally since they opened the program.
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
Yeah.
And he was saying that here's a chance. We'll get back to that in a moment as they're driving. And then here's Rowan Burrell, rips it just a little bit wide. But Rowan's dad played with Sam Kozakowski in, I believe, when they won the Bantam Ontario Box Championship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
James again with another pass from behind the net there.
Burrell fighting through traffic, but it's knocked away. And off go the Griffins. Owen Williams on the run. Nice wheels coming back by Tovet to slow things down. No chance for transition. So we're into the final 3 minutes of the first quarter of the opening game at the Baggataway Cup 2023.
Oh, you got a Guelph guy racing through.
Pass doesn't connect, and it skips away from Owen Kelly after it had been tipped. He will track it down. He is watched there by Lorenzo Costello, number 9 in red. Volkov will settle.
And Guelph's looking to play fast here. You can see them trying to get their matchup. They've got the short stick, screen coming.
Ethan Lee watched there by Louis-Antoine Abb. And McGill will repel that initial advance. Here's Volkov on his offside. He's going to shoot, I think.
Yeah, it looked like a shot.
It looked like a shot, but it was going right by Robbie Baxter's stick as we went wide of the net, and Baxter had to kind of awkwardly twist to try and get it. But it is called a shot. They do get possession on the backup, and Baxter on his fellow number 77, John Meeks.
Oh, that was close. Crease. Yeah. Going to be McGill ball.
That's quite a matchup, the 77s, Meeks and Baxter.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle all night. And McGill's playing super tight, compact in there, and it'll be interesting if McGill can get, or if Guelph can get Dodge in here on that defense, trying to draw them in. They're going to get some free shots if nobody comes. So maybe that's part of the McGill game plan.
It's been quite a defensive season kind of throughout the league, especially in the Western, I believe. And we don't have all the records readily available, but they may have had the lowest total of goals against in the history of CUFLA, including, and they played 10 games, including seasons where teams played 8 or even 6 games. Here's Burrell looking for another one, but he's going to pass it off. Erbstein gets the shot, but it's blocked. Grabbed there by Hain, and out come the Griffins. Big forecheck pressure. Oh, Burrell, nice collision and the trail check, but what a job holding on to the ball by Volkov. Or sorry, that was, not sure if that was Jake Cook that had that one.
Goalie play too, a lot of good passers. They're going to catch that outlet, and that's, with this shot clock especially, the fast breaks will be going.
Erbstein from the top. Bounces one on the hand switch. Fires it a little bit wide, backed up by James.
Got Cook squaring up with James.
Final 30 of this first quarter. It's all tied up 2-2. We expected a good game. We've got one. James. Oh, he's dynamite getting inside. Penalty coming. He steps in the crease. Play is blown down, but it will be one foul, maybe two. It looks like 2 to Guelph.
He's shifty. He's moving, trying to get the defender up top and then roll him underneath, and ends up just taking a piece of him with him, and penalty coming.
James has such quick feet, and he comes out from X, and he's always, like you said, he's always shopping, always aware of where his teammates are. That's why he has 22 assists, by far the most on this McGill team. And as you saw there, he's also so dangerous with either the question mark dodge or just sticking a foot in the ground and changing direction. He is elusive, and it can make it very difficult to cover him. Now, with 15 seconds in the quarter, McGill's going to take their time and just hold on to it, have possession to start the second quarter so they won't have to take a face-off. If you're on the power play and the quarter ends, you get the ball to start without having to take the face-off. So that's what they're going to do here.
Yeah.
And we will take a 2-minute break. I am Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. It is 2-2, McGill and Guelph. And we'll be back with the second quarter of the opening game of the 2023 Baggataway Cup. Weller, one of many players picked in the National Lacrosse League entry draft this year from the CUFLA ranks. You can see a story about that on the website listing all the players who did go.
With good move to get inside there.
Great trail check, though, by Liam McConnell. Let's pick back up, and here is Moralia.
These defenders are just surgical right now, too. That ball is hitting the turf a lot.
It looks like the wind's still pretty strong. That's obviously not a factor on the close-up checks. What a shot, but the save by the shoulder, it looked like, of Jacob Hain. There's a goal. They get it out front. Was that Burrell burying again?
With a pass from number 4, James.
Always.
See the dodge inside and big save here. Cree's able to pick it up, get the quick outlet, and somehow Burrell ended up making a great grab at his ankles almost and dipping and dunking it in.
Great little twister from Burrell. He is just deadly. Very good box player as well. I know we're talking about a fair bit about box, but most of these guys are box first players and then come and obviously enjoy playing this field game as well. And Burrell, one of the guys I highlighted as a player to keep an eye on, a top 10 intriguing player for a future NLL draft. NLL camps, as we mentioned, got underway, some of them last weekend everyone else starting this weekend. That always has an impact here at CUFLA. So many players going on to play in another little slip. You can see the turf's a bit slick. Abra was the last one to fell. Here's James. Wow, they ever closing on him quickly. Jake Cook, great composure, but he gets through to the net. Nice check. Oh, and then looks like on the follow-through we're going to have a penalty.
Yeah, lots of penalties tonight. We're going to the power play again.
It's Brendan Hushman.
James is so shifty. He's able to get that underneath, and that's hard to defend. It's hard to get the slide across. He tucks it in well, too, where he can get a quick shot off, and hard for the goalie to defend from that spot.
Sorry, it's Hoshman. Just double checking that with Jessica, our PA person, who got all the pronunciations. Great group here at Trent, doing their second straight Baggataway Cup. That pass is about hip high on Cree, really handcuffed him. He is able to recover it.
McGill working 2 guys down below the GLE.
Hard twister from Massimo Tovet, who scored the goal earlier. McGill really finding some looks inside.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of jamming it in there. And, you know, McGill usually wants to shoot from outside. They got some heavy shooters. Some good ball movement.
Really taking advantage. Now we're back to even strength, and that one is an absolute rocket, but it is way off target from Isaiah Cree.
Yeah, looking to go low to high there and rip one.
Wow,
Wow, I don't know.
Was that not in?
It looked like it. Trent had one of those goals a few weeks ago where it looked like bounced in and bounced out.
You watched the replay. It was obviously in, that Trent one, because it hit. Oh, my goodness. There's a McGill player down on the turf. It's Tovet.
I didn't see what happened there as the ball had transitioned up.
Yeah, play was blown down and not very happy about it. I think it was John Weller running with the ball, and he's saying, why did you blow that down when the guy's hurt well behind the play?
Right.
Oh, there's a clear. Oh, he grabs his knee immediately.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any sort of hit or stick, or hopefully he's all right. Guelph ball.
Yeah, they had possession running over center. It was Weller who had it. We're going to start with them in the offensive zone. And Tovet still making his way off the field. Head coach Nick Subri and one of his assistants are over there, and he is putting no weight on the left leg. So,
and great training staffs here this weekend, so he'll be well taken care of for sure.
Saw McGill in the hallway inside the athletic complex getting ready for today's game, and they had 4 trainers going around taping people. They have an active staff.
Active, absolutely. And, you know, Tim Murdoch, when he was there, he put a lot of those things in place, helping to build that program up.
Baxter behind the net, watched closely by Bedour. Volkov up top to Lee.
Seeing a switch there defensively.
Lee on the fly, lets one rip, but it's stopped and it's scooped up, and here goes Meeks. Nice job avoiding the check in the other direction. We've seen Meeks checking Baxter all day. This time it's Baxter on Meeks, but then he does get enough pressure on to force the turnover on the errant pass. Griffin's right back on to the attack.
Yeah, Doherty doing a good job up there to read that the broken play.
He'll hand it off, and we see the ball in the stick of Owen Kelly.
We got 2 short sticks low here. A couple long pulls from McGill up high. Trying to isolate that short stick down below the goal line, or the GLE as we call it in the lacrosse world.
We do. Kelly spins. Nicely watched there by Maverick Hozil.
Just gets his poke on the bottom hand there, causing that pass to go out of bounds. Great defensive check. Fundamental teaching for all defensive coaches is getting on that bottom hand, lift it or poke to try and cause that errant pass. Any pass out of bounds and field across is possession for the other team.
You don't always have to be going up for the shaft or the head. Oh, another chance for Burrell, and he is stopped by Jacob Hain. Big save there to keep this one tied up at 3 with 6:40 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, that was a blessing. The Guelph defender just slipped, and he got a clear path.
Stick around at halftime. We will have some some content from Lacrosse TV, but then we will have some chats through the weekend with our new commissioner of CUFLA, Scott Fox. I'll be talking to Scott in the halftime of this game, and then Scott's going to have some guests on through the weekend. He is stepping into some big shoes. Shout out to Kevin Kaplis, who is watching from Spain, where he and his lovely bride have relocated. And Kevin was a player, and then a ref, and then a referee-in-chief, and then assistant commissioner, and then commissioner of this league for a couple of decades. I mean, he put a lot of time into this league, and what a debt we owe him for all the work he's put in. And great to have him watching. And what a rip from the outside. Ethan Lee shows you how he put up 5 last week with an absolute blast to the far top corner.
Wow. Like, that might be MLL 2-point territory there. That was an absolute rocket from outside.
Did MLL have the 2-pointer? I know PLL does.
Yeah. That's beyond
the
girls' far fan there, the meter line. Blistering shot to put the Griffs up 1.
Coming up to the final 5 minutes in the first half. Second game today, 7:30 Eastern time, will be Brock and Trent in a rematch of last year's final, won by the Trent Excalibur, defending the championship this year as they defend the river. One scooped up nicely there by Guelph, John Weller. What a game he is having. Handed it off, and Guelph back to the attack.
McGill doubling there. Well, Guelph changes. Looks like Guelph's called a timeout with the pressure on there to keep possession with just under 5 to go there.
I think Liam Aston thought he had a lane to the net that he wanted to take advantage of.
Oh, he'll be mad at his coaches. Yeah. He'll be telling Coach, I had that.
That was going to be a goal.
It's usually the way it goes, the conversation. Why'd you blow the whistle?
And, of course, again, he does lead them in goals with 18 as well in the regular season. So, multi-talented. Now, with 4:46 to go, Guelph maintains possession. Baxter, at least a little flip pass. Pretty nice job by the McGill defenders, picking up everybody as Aston came out looking for somewhere to pass. Lee's going to move it back out to the top to Doherty.
A lot of movement inside from Guelph, too, trying to bring the defenders around. We'll try to swing it around the net here, try and hit the cutter.
Baxter reverse whip. What a beauty. He is fired up about that one, and they are hopping on the bench, and not just to keep warm in that cool breeze.
Yeah, great setup there coming out of the timeout. Design play off the start. They flip pass and able to keep possession. Slides late there, and this kid's got more moves than a disco.
You've been waiting to break that one out?
Yeah, all day.
Great to have you back, Kinner. We had you here for a few games last year. I'm not sure there are a lot of people who know more about this league than you do.
Been around it for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of the random, useless CUFLA facts just from being around. So try and give the fans some of that over the course of the weekend.
Always fun to have you on board. And you're now, of course, a teacher and coach at Holy Cross.
Holy Cross, yeah.
Convener of this year's OFSA championship.
Yeah, Jeff Ralph and I over at TAS, we convened the AA and the AAA. So we had 24 teams from around the province come to beautiful Peterborough, and we put on a good show. So it was a couple fun days of lacrosse. We mixed in some wildfire advisories, which nobody saw coming, and you're always learning in this life. So it went off really well.
It was a fun weekend. Great to see the best young players here. And here we have the best university players in Canada on the field, and some great defense there by Detweiler. He's not just a face-off guy, number 21. He can play some defense as well, covering Erbstein there.
Shot, doing a good job of containing this guy. Gets the ball.
Then the big hit after. Oh, he's going to get a penalty, though. Shot got up a little bit high, I think up into the face of Rowan Burrell.
44 on 44.
Yeah. They like the matchups of the same numbers.
Be big for McGill to get one here on this extra man offense. Get it back within 1 going into halftime. He gets it up at the right shooter spot. McGill keeping too low again.
You're going to come up top, and we will see what Moralia decides to do. He goes back to James. James has it once again.
Oh, and Howard in the middle
Fakes
there.
it. Yeah, fakes Moralia. Comes to Cree. Another low pass. Cree not able to handle that one. He was watched closely by McConnell.
Howard's pretty good with both hands, too, so you'll see him switching his stick back and forth. Guy in the middle, he can kind of just bounce around.
Oh, what a rip off the post by Cree. And then Moralia, that one's a low-to-low rocket, but grabbed by Hain, no problem. He's going to take his time breaking out. You got 20 seconds to get across center with the 80-second shot clock, and then the rest of it is yours to do with as you will.
22 posts this quarter, I think, for McGill. Guelph calls another timeout.
That will be their second of the quarter. Remember, stick with us at halftime in this game. After we come back from some Lacrosse TV content, well, I'll be joined by Scott Fox as we talk about his new role as the incoming commissioner of CUFLA. Lots of exciting ideas that I know that he's bringing to the table. And then he's going to take over the halftimes for the rest of the weekend. He's a award-winning radio host and podcast host, so great to have him on the mic. Having to fight him off.
Yeah.
He's like fighting for your headset.
Yeah. Maybe we'll pick up some tips here.
Yeah. I'm torn. Want to pick up some tips. Also want to go and walk around a bit and enjoy soak up the atmosphere here.
Yeah. Last year was a lot warmer. So the people, the fans here, which I think we're numbering, I don't know, about 2,000 right now.
Give or take.
See what comes in for the Trent game later. Forecasted to be 5,000 or 6,000, but what was our record last year? Was it 20,000 that came in?
Yeah, 20, 21.
Yeah. We didn't have the official stat, but it was a lot. Last year was sunglasses and sunscreen, and this year the theme is toques and scarves. So a little bit of a weather change, but this is November.
Yeah. You just never know. I mean, we've been at Baggataway's where sunscreen was the order of the day, and then we've seen the angled sleet blasting in. I remember that at Queens.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually was in Kingston the other day and drove past Richardson Stadium a couple of times. Loved that stadium. Really had a good time doing the Baggataway there.
Spectacular venue. Yeah. Beautiful.
Here we are at Justin Chu Stadium on the banks of the Autonomy River, and it is 5-3 for the Griffins, the number 2 seed from the West, playing the McGill Redbirds, number 3 from the East. Today's second quarterfinal will be the Trent Excalibur, the number 2 seed in the East, against the number 3 from the West, which is the Brock Badgers, of course, the rematch, that one, of last year's championship game. Brock and Trent have quite a history. We're going to get into that one later. These teams, McGill and Guelph, really haven't met for quite a while. Here's a chance running down. Lee is going to run out of space. And Baxter.
You got Bedore watching Baxter now.
Interesting.
Little switch up from Meeks there. Guelph likes to get the alley dodge and then swing the ball through X real quick, see if they can get the guys coming down the weak side.
Quick movement as they come out to Lee, and he's looking for his shot. Again, runs out of room. Nicely handed off from Meeks down to the short stick.
About 20 seconds. Shot clock violation.
There you go. And again, we had one shot clock get blown over by this pretty stiff wind and did not fare well in the drop. So we're down to one shot clock for today. And we're going to have a timeout with 7.7 seconds to go. McGill will stop the clock and try and set up a last shot here. Get back within one if they can. Thanks for being with us on Lacrosse TV. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. And Kinner, you said first quarter was 2-2 after the first. The scoring's ticked up a little bit here, but still defense and goaltending doing pretty well holding things down here.
Absolutely. And goaltenders, they're making those quick outlets. Their transition game and specialties, that extra man offense, the difference maker right now. Keeping it within a couple is always going to be the game plan, right? You don't want to get too far away. Then you've really got to claw back and push a little bit more. 2 goals is you're still in the zone where you can set up your stuff. Nobody's panicky yet. So we'll see what coaches for McGill here can draw up with 7 seconds. I mean, at this point of the year, you practiced everything, right? Yeah. You're not calling a timeout to draw something guys haven't seen. So they'll know their last second plays, and they'll have the right personnel on the field and see if they can't make it a 1-goal game going into halftime here.
Erbstein's going to start with it. And they're not going to have a lot of time. And you can see the wind riffling the jersey of Erbstein as they are flying. They're running straight into it, which can have an effect on the passing. We've seen some passes hitting guys in the ankles. I think the wind's a factor. And this time the pass just will not connect. And time will run out on the first half. The score is 5-3 for the Guelph Griffins over the McGill Redbirds through 30 minutes of play. We're going to take a 10-minute break, but we'll be back in 5 minutes, David? Back in 5 minutes. I'll be joined by Scott Fox, the incoming commissioner for CUFLA. I'm Stephen Stamp with Jeff McKinley. Thanks for being with us on Lacrosse TV for the 2023 Baggataway Cup from Peterborough, Ontario. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, Lacrosse friends, to the 2023 Baggataway Cup from Justin Chu Stadium at Trent University. I'm Stephen Stamp, and I am joined by incoming CUFLA Commissioner Scott Fox. And first, I just want to say a quick apology to Kevin Caplis, our outgoing commissioner who is in Spain. Apparently, I've been pronouncing his name wrong for the last decade.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's Caplice, not Caplis. And I've called him Kevin Caplis for literally 10 or 11 years.
Wow.
So sorry about that, Kevin. Anyway, Scott Fox, way easier to pronounce.
Yes, it's a simple one. Yeah.
You're coming on board, and I know you're very excited to be part of it. We're excited to have you on board. And what do you want to start off talking about today?
Okay, well, first off, I want to talk about the experience of the Baggataway, because I think that, it's great having this broadcast, and the team here at Trent is just world class. Such great facilities, and the field looks good. Scoreboard, of course, one of the best in the league. Everything is great here. But the atmosphere, when you walk through the stadium and you can feel it, I mean, this could be the last ever game on the field for some of these guys. And their parents are here, their families are here. It's emotional, but it's so exciting, and there's an atmosphere in the crowd. I highly recommend that there's no other sporting event like it. Next time you get an opportunity to go to a Baggataway Cup, or even this weekend right here at Trent, I highly encourage you to do it. There really is nothing like it. Next year, we're going to be at Brock University, so there's a good opportunity there for our Americans in Western New York that are watching.
Yeah, it's been 7 years since we had a Baggataway at Brock, and that's a big year for them next year, an anniversary. We'll get more into that later. But for Trent, I was here for the opening game. I live fairly close by, so I came down for Trent's opener this season, and it was during intro week. It was jam-packed. This place was rocking in early September, and it really is lively and a lot of fun to be here, and we expect things are going to pick up in terms of the crowd. Obviously, with Trent playing tonight against Western, we've seen a very competitive, very balanced schedule this year, a lot of competition. And I think the really interesting thing to me as we prepare for the Brock versus Trent quarterfinal number 2 tonight at 7:30 that you should also join us for is how close some of the games have been and some of the teams rising. Carleton finishing first in the West. In the East, after they'd had a run of 3 years winning 0 total games that ended in 2019 or just before the pandemic. And there's Carleton with 8 wins this year.
You know, I think it's a testament to the coaching in this league. Yes. It really has gone to the next level. The programs are investing so much into not just getting game ready, but also in that film review and things like that. You know, the research that goes into it, the training that goes into it. I think every team in this league has raised its game and also attracted some good talent. I mean, if you look at the incoming rookies here that are playing this weekend, it's a pretty impressive crop.
And, I mean, for the most part, the majority of rookies are not playing right away. And I know I've talked to a number of players and who have come, especially guys who have gone down. You know, there's always a lot of people chase the dream, the U.S. scholarship. When you're up in Canada, go down to NCAA. Works out great for some guys, really not so well for others. And a lot of guys will go down, realize you can get a great education here with less, a lot less cost than you'd spend, even when you get a scholarship. And these guys are coming back and saying they're surprised at how good the quality of play is here in CUFLA.
And that's one of the things that we're going to do as a league is we're going to spend a little more time getting the facts out there about A, the quality of education, and B, the true cost of that education when you consider the all-in cost of going south of the border or staying here and getting that world-class education in Canada, close to home. Friends and family can come watch games. You're accessible. There's a lot of bonuses to playing in CUFLA, but we're going to talk about that throughout the weekend, and we'll talk about it throughout the upcoming months.
I'm Stephen Stamp, and this is Scott Fox, the incoming commissioner for CUFLA. He is going to be taking over the headsets at halftime of the other 4 games this weekend. We've got a great guest tonight lined up, Ashley Aitken, who is the head of the Kawartha Food Share, and 4 years ago was the local liaison, team liaison for Kenya for the U19 Women's World Championship here at Trent University in Peterborough. And she stayed involved with Kenya and is now one of the lead organizers for the Kenya national teams, who are at the Canada Lacrosse Super Sixes a couple of weeks ago. Just a great guest. Scott's going to be joining her, and we'll have Jeff McKinley jumping back on the mic here as we are underway in the second half. This game is flying along, and McGill with possession and the extra man. Oh no, it is a 6 on 6.
Took a quick peek at the stands there. A lot of CUFLA faces of the past down there. Former coaches Mike Temple at Trent, Mike Firth at Western, Tim Murdoch at McGill.
Yeah.
People are coming out.
I believe Ed Camo is planning to be here for the whole weekend, and I think he may be jumping on with Scott Fox in one of the intermissions.
Now, is it accurate that McMaster had a 1-0 game this year?
It is. I actually followed up with Mac Abbott. Remember Mac is there doing in the athletics department there, and I messaged him and said, was it really 1-0? And he gave me the breakdown of how the game went. A great defensive game and great goaltending, and yeah, 1 goal, and I believe it was the third quarter in that one. Unbelievable. That was against U of T, I think.
I want to say in 2008 or 9 when Bishops had hosted that U of T, they had played to a 2-1 game over on the grass field because it was just torrential weather. But that was the lowest I ever remember. And I saw 1-0. I was like, that's got to be a forfeit.
I thought it was a forfeit, too. I double-checked as well. Ball comes into the offensive zone. Owen Howard with it for McGill. He has got some pressure on him, but he's going to hang on.
Yeah, this Guelph team's extending out a lot farther on their defense than we're seeing from McGill right now. They want to especially get out on forward Dylan James. He's pretty good vision and feeder right there, as we've said.
What a job getting that ground ball to reestablish possession for McGill by Dylan James.
McGill setting up their offense here, getting their guys in place.
Dodge coming from behind the GLE now. They give it to James. Oh, and he rips a quick shot. And you can see as he is not too far above the goal line, you can see how Guelph is watching everybody for the pass. And that sometimes opens up shooting lanes for him, even though he is a dynamite shooter. Very dangerous. Ball bouncing around on the ground away from Owen Howard, but he does get it back and will initiate the dodge from the top, but runs into a brick wall there in Owen Williams. That pass gets away. It was tipped by a Guelph defender, so we'll go back to McGill for a fresh possession.
And you'll see teams a lot this weekend trying to isolate the right matchup that they want.
Oh, and James has just gone to the turf. It's looking like he's grabbing his hamstring. McGill gets it back, and play will be blown down as the shot clock expires, and now he's just dropping the gear. Oh, you hate to see that. I really hope he's okay. Such a great young player.
Yeah, he's down, both gloves off. Seems to be grabbing at his hamstring.
There's a couple of the trainers getting out there, and head coach Nick Subry as well.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. You never like to see a guy go down. They're student athletes. Like, you have to have the academics behind it. If kids just want to play lacrosse, like, it is not a good formula. So that can be challenging, but the consistency, I think, for success is key, and just that common leadership.
We are back underway, and it is going to be a real challenge here to see what McGill can do without Dylan James. I mean,
he's over on the bike there on the sideline, so hopefully it's just a cramp, a little bit of water, get her loosened up, and he can come back in for them.
It'll be so challenging when it is cold.
Yeah, players forget right on the cold days that pre-hydration, if you will, the day before is so important, because you think you're going to cramp up in the hot stuff, but the cold definitely sneaks up on you.
And it's not as easy to tell. In the summer, like you said, you know when it's hot, you know that you're going to have to worry about hydration. You can feel it. You can feel the sweat. When you're not feeling it as much, you're still losing
You have that much more energy
hydration,
burning, right?
yeah.
Because it's cold.
Yeah.
Your body's trying to keep warm.
Yeah.
Shots pushing up the field here.
Protects it nicely from that back check from Moralia.
One of our CUFLA families. We've had several, and all of the Schott brothers, Ethan at Trent, and Carter at Trent, and Nolan at Guelph.
Yeah, I think the Trent and Guelph coaches would probably love it if they saw a Schott family battle here among
Absolutely.
Carter and Nolan. Big collision out there on the run. Nice save made by Beam. He's going to need to be big here in the second half. McGill trails by a couple, 5-3, early in the third quarter.
Guelph doing a good job getting the loose balls to keep possession.
Kevin Tebow handed it off, and here's Liam Aston trying to work his way underneath. Watched closely by Ryan Badur. Great footwork by Badur to keep his positioning. That's going to force him to go back up to Ethan Lee.
Good mini defense there.
That shot didn't get through the way it was intended. Nice work by, I think it was Josh Jewell on the D for McGill on that one, playing some SSDM. I love short stick D middies.
Oh, you get a short stick D midi that can transition the ball too. Like, that is one of the most important positions on the field.
Right.
You get a roll, you can get out there on face-offs, you can play a lot, and it's probably the least glorious of all of them, and if you have a really good one, it is the backbone of your team. And the kids that play it and excel in it, they take pride in it, and those are your competitors.
Trying to think of some of the great ones over the years. One guy that jumps to mind, Austin Haber from Western.
Absolutely.
Just messed up your offense at times, right?
Very good. And they a lot of time, these guys are guys that play box too, so they're in this role, but like, they have hands, they can push the ball, they can score.
Here's Josh Jewell in the offensive zone. He's just going to hold up, wait for some attacking players. And we've got a stoppage. Is this a timeout?
It's like a McGill timeout.
Yep.
Settle
2 per
the
half.
troops. 2 per half, yeah. You don't use them, you lose them.
Yeah.
I miss the old days where you used to be able to just throw the ball from your own end, and if it was in the air but had crossed half and there was an eligible receiver, if you will, somewhere near, it looked like it was going to a guy on your team, you could call the timeout in the air. Unfortunately, they got rid of that, but that really helped, especially tight games late in the game when you're getting pressured. You just had plays set up, so like, get away from your defender, we'll airmail it to you, and we'll get the timeout halfway.
Did you have to make sure you flung it nice and high so you had time to make sure the refs heard you calling the timeout?
Well, yeah, like it was a two-step process, because if you threw it too high or too far away, then they wouldn't give it to you. So you had to make sure that you really, if you're thinking about it from like a football perspective, that there was somebody in the area that was eligible and you could set it up. Usually just push and pop, get your guy going towards the line, and sprint away quick.
So if you're McGill, first of all, let's see if Dylan James comes back out. Don't see where he is in the group. I don't think.
We still have somebody over on the trainer table there on the sideline, but we haven't seen Tuvette come back yet.
Yeah, I don't know if that's him. It's his right leg, so we can't see the wrap that was on. So most likely that's him, and you can see he is not looking very comfortable if he's over there when you get a look at the bench. But
yeah, it looks like they've moved Burrell to that lefty attack spot. We've got Mark Simon playing X, and then Isaiah Cree at the right attack position.
Going with 5 righties out there for McGill. So it's interesting to see how they work this out. Is Burrell the only lefty shot, and he's going to take this pass right now. And then survey his options as we have a line of 5 righties up on the far side of the field. Isaiah Cree fakes the one hand behind the back pass, does try to make a pass, doesn't get through. Burrell and Cree kind of waiting for each other to pick it up, but Burrell gets it and the lefty scores to pull McGill within 1, making it 5-4. What a play by the youngster from North Vancouver.
Nice twister there to finish. He's got great hands in tight. Watch him come right underneath here. He just tucks it and snaps it. And that's the mark of a finisher right there, because those defenders are taught to trail check, keep the stick in the middle of the helmet, and come down quick, but very hard when you get a goal scorer like that, tucking it in front of their body and able to release like that. Excellent goal.
Big face-off here as we're nearing the midway point of quarter number 3.
That was a big goal for McGill to get that within 1 and to get the face-off here.
Sam McDonald running down. They're going to push it. Cree sees the cutting long pole, decided not to give it to Preston Norris, who desperately wanted that pass. Now reality kicks in. He's going to head to the bench for a change. He held up for a second, though.
He did.
He thought about staying in. I love the pole goals.
Oh, amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you saw that a lot of it at Romanchuk and Conley last year, that they were able to just push it. They would sometimes be out scoring their checks on attack, and they would be getting that ball.
Yeah.
Attack guys trusting the score, and that's what the shot clock's done. We have these kind of two-way defenders now.
Yeah. Oh, nice pass.
Wow.
Burrell scores again. Nothing fancy about this or nothing tricky about it. He just found some open space, takes the pass, and blisters a quick release.
And this is where the experience of getting to a Baggataway is so big, right? Like, there's highs and lows in every game, and, you know, the guys playing on Sunday, they can weather the storm. They kind of stay even-keeled. And you just see he's just left alone out front. Dodge comes, we got a double, and nobody there. I suspect that'll be a quick adjustment for Kosakowski and the Griffins to make sure that he is watched at all times. But here we are, back at a draw, 6 minutes to go in the third.
And McGill dials in their focus to get that one back on track. And they were down 5-3 when Dylan James went out. And they've got the only 2 goals since with 5:55 to go. James is now standing up or kneeling by the bench and trying to put some weight on. Not looking. They've taped him up. Pretty heavy tape job on the right upper leg. We'll see if he is able to come back in.
You see the face-off play so important in this league. That's 3 in a row for McGill. Keeps you on offense, keeps the momentum going. Guelph's going to need a stop here.
Again, Mr. McGill sticking with the 5 righty approach. Isaiah Cree will take this one back. You're going to go to Erbstein up at the top.
Burrell going to the middle.
Kind of tucking in behind Moralia, number 22, takes this pass. He's looking at Burrell, and they are definitely paying close attention. Nolan shot on him, then comes for the slide, and that leaves Burrell open, and he pops and gets it. You got to have the secondary slide there, but Guelph does come and play some solid team defense. Ball's turned over there. The Redbirds will get it back.
And a lot of time you'll see teams with make that top goal scorer guy the first slide. So, you know, Shoddy's why he brings Shoddy in there, and Shoddy's got to go as the 1 slide, which leaves him open where that 2 slide's super important, so that guy's not wide open inside. Big
Josh Jewell playing a bit more of a role here, and he rips it, and that's a low-to-low by John Moralia, who buries it. And McGill, what a run for them. 3 in a row, and they've gone ahead.
They've gone ahead, yeah. Face off again, right? So important. Going to be a big draw here for Guelph. Just a quick dump here. And he didn't have a lot of time there. He was able to let that go pretty quickly. Slide was coming. Typically, players are changing their plane. If it's stick low, they're shooting high. If their stick's high, they're shooting low. And he throws a laser beam there, low to low.
The winner of this game will play in the first semifinal tomorrow at 1:30. That will be against
Carleton, I believe.
the Carleton Ravens for sure. And I know, division rivalries really develop. McGill really wants a shot at Carleton to try and get back at them after the very close battle atop the East in the regular season. But Guelph, we know they're far from out of this one, trailing by just 1. They would love to get a shot at Carleton and then see where things go from there.
And we've seen this Guelph program time and time again come in and play all 3 games on the weekend and be crowned at the end. So guys have been here, their experience, that 3-goal run isn't going to phase them too much.
Working from behind the net there, Mark Simons with it, 21. move the ball around, and they're already back to the top. Erbstein gets a shot off. It's blocked out front. Shot comes away with it. Makes a quick turn and looking upfield. Nothing there, so he's just going to trot ahead with it. And then rolls one. Nice pass ahead to Jake Scott. Or Jake Cook, sorry, they're all Canadian, with 3 goals, and he is up in the offensive end. Not going to get a pass from Baxter, so he'll head off reluctantly to the bench. The long poles always hesitate before they get back to the bench.
Always.
I played long pole in high school. I went over center once with the ball.
Yeah, these guys are trying to catch it on the quick change, see
Yeah.
what they can get. But Guelph's going to want to get some touches here, especially in the cold. Your attack guys haven't had the ball in a while. They can, guys can get panicky. You want to get some touches again. Quick flip here to Aston. Nice ball movement.
Oh,
And
what a
there you
finish
go.
down the middle. Great, like you said, the ball movement. And then Liam Deesh, who had 4 goals in the regular season, has a huge one here for the Griffins.
Absolutely, that was big. They needed that, get it evened up. Lots of poise from this Guelph team. See him cutting in, just left alone. And right now, that's the difference, right? So many key guys that we're keying on in secondary scoring. Always is going to be a factor, and they were able to make no mistake there. And just like that, we are again in Baggataway weekend with a draw.
As a coach for a dozen years in CUFLA with the Trent Excalibur, the host this year, you've obviously worked on things like that. How do you emphasize that or get players who are like your secondary scorers to be ready for the big moments?
Like, they need to play before you get there, right?
Yeah.
You need to give them opportunities and get them in. You can't ask kids to do something if they've never had the opportunity. So team depth is really what all these, because you play too much. So if you have a 10-game regular season, all of a sudden you're playing 3 in 3 days. That's a lot, right? So everybody needs to get that battle testing done, and these guys are good, right? Your depth guys are good, and obviously teams are going to have the guys that you run the horses on a weekend like this, but when they're going back and forth, those are the ones that you need. So having trust too, right? Giving your guys an opportunity, and that's what it's about. And having guys that have been here, right? Like these golf players, maybe they didn't play a lot last year, but having the experience of being here, they know what it's like, they know what it's about, and that calms the nerves a bit too, I think.
Down to 25 seconds in the third quarter of this 6-6 tie. What a great opening to the 2023 Baggataway Cup as Robbie Baxter against Meeks. Again, the 7s on 7s. And that one, he misses, turns into a pass for Aston. Oh, what a goal. Another one, Liam Deesh.
Very good ball movement there. Baxter sees Aston that far side, and he one more pass. Gets him here, sees his guy, slide comes. And again, almost same spot where he catches it, hanging out up top.
Look at Baxter, fired up. Doesn't even get an assist because there's no secondary assist in field lacrosse, but he knows what an important role he played in that one. But he is fired up for his teammate Deesh to get a couple of goals. And it honestly, it looked like he was taking a shot. I thought Baxter, I thought he's way up. And then you watch the replay, and as you pointed out, clearly a pass right over top of the crossbar because he saw that was going to lead to a better chance than he had with the goalie staring him down.
Absolutely. And Aston has the awareness to know that you're leaving the farthest guy in your slide package and that he was going to be open. And
McDonald driving to the net, trying to tie it back up as he took the face-off on that subsequent to that goal and got an opportunity but used up about 6 or 7 seconds, and that's going to do it for the third quarter as Guelph will start with possession and let the final couple of seconds tick away in the stick of Jacob Haynes. So it is 7-6 Guelph on that late goal, a pair of them by Deesh. I'm Steven Stamp with Jeff McKinley. We're going to be back for the fourth and final quarter of the opening game of the 2023 Baggataway Cup at Trent University here on Lacrosse TV. All right, we are underway again. A quick break there between the third and fourth. Nobody can wait to get this thing going. It is a great game. 7-6 for the Guelph Griffins, the number 2 seed out of the West against the number 3 seed from the East, the McGill Redbirds.
currently 10 degrees in Peterborough. Feels like 7.
There you go. That wind is really whipping. It's yeah, you can see the trees on the far side still moving around. That's what the real telltale. And it's left to right on the screen as Burrell goes right to left and blasts one. Rowan Burrell is having himself a night as he ties it back up at 7.
Just the back and forth of a Baggataway weekend. I mean, nothing crazy here. Dodge across the top. They got the switch. He just happened to get his hands free. Again, going that far hip side post. We've got new player in for Guelph on the draw. Jared Bettenville's going to take his luck here against McDonald, who had been having some success against Detweiler. And McDonald comes up with it again.
As he does so often, and what a key win for McGill. We're into the 4th quarter here. McGill taking their time, getting everybody onto the field.
Busby passes it off and goes for the change. Creel wait for everybody to get out, coming from the bench. Take her down to X.
Burrell down below GLE as well. He was watched closely there by Cook. Now Cook tightens up on him. And Burrell will take the advantage, uses the momentum against him, started to drive to the net, didn't like the lane he saw, so passes it off, the little underhand shovel, and McGill's going to reset everything. Here's John Moralia. It's the pass, it's the pick.
So hard to defend a player like Burrell. Quick feet like that, he's able to change his direction quickly.
You just have to knock the stick right out of his hands.
Yeah, field lacrosse, you are not allowed to play without your stick. Hockey, you lose it, you can play with your feet. And field lacrosse, you cannot, so you got to pick it up right away.
Box lacrosse, you can go ahead.
And that's usually a big change for when you come for box to the field game and you want to keep playing.
Possession maintained by Guelph. Probably Sam Kosikowski, the head coach, who grabbed that timeout just as Liam McConnell was being forced out of bounds. So the Griffins hold on to the ball. Stay with us post game as we will have the players of the game announced, one for each team. What are you thinking so far there, Kinner? I'd say got to think Rowan Burrell from McGill at this point.
Right now that's looking pretty darn good for them. Baxter has been both scoring and feeding, creating for his teammates. He's been doing a good job. I would say, if we're given possession time, right now the edge is going to McGill in the second half, but Guelph has been able to do a fantastic job when they do have the ball of making it count and burying on their chances.
Sam McDonald, the honorable mention All-Canadian on faceoff for the East, as Hawkeye Hamilton from Queens, who didn't make it to the Baggataway, they lost last weekend to McGill, actually, I believe it was in the playoffs. And I think part of it was, he's just got a great name, Hawkeye Hamilton.
Absolutely. The alliteration's great.
Yeah.
Connor Kiernan's doing great things with their program there at Queens. You're really seeing the East beef up and be very competitive, which is great to see. For a long time, it was kind of the little brother of the West teams, and over the past 5 or 6 years, we've really seen the parity level off.
Mark Lange, a few years now in Carleton, really getting things rocking up there. Guelph taking their time here. Deesh with a couple of goals. And he will keep the ball moving. He's number 64, just about to take this pass right here. Ethan Lee moves it on. Volkov to Lee. He wants to shoot. He does so. That one, not sure if it got through all the way to Joseph Beam, the goaltender. Joseph's older brother, Jonah, on the roster with the Albany Firewolves, I believe. I remember seeing Jonah playing in Arena Lacrosse League with the Paris River Wolves. Just a dynamic young player who really just burgeoning through his years in the game, and now he's getting his shot at the pros and played for, I believe, the Cobourg Kodiaks this summer in major series. So you see these guys bouncing around, playing with all the different opportunities to get out on the floor or field, and it is really helping these guys to grow their games as Lee takes this one up top and reverses it back over to the side for the lefties, although Ben Doherty, the righty, is on the side, a little pick, and slips back over.
Doing a quick shot clock check there, seeing what they've got. Big alley dodge, shot on the net.
No plane change there, and that one was too easy for Beam. I think Doherty would like to have that one back and change it up a little.
Absolutely.
Forecheck pressure. Meeks will take this pass. Had to double clutch. Goes back to Beam. Again, you've got 20 seconds to get over center.
Good ride here from Guelph. They're going to be close. They got him.
Yeah, you can see the excitement on the Guelph sideline. They are fired up, and nothing gets a team quite as excited as a good ride.
Oh, that was 20 seconds. Like, that's a heck of a ride. Keeping them in there, that's not easy to do either.
That's a factor with the shot clock, of course, where you have to get over that 20. I remember seeing, there were teams. I remember there was one Trent goalie in particular. I can't remember who it was, but he would just walk up. He'd probably spend 20 seconds strolling up the field before he'd make a pass. Here's Volkov. Hands it off to Lee. Looked like he thought he might have a lane, but Meeks was there to take it away. He's handed off to Logan Glick, the All-Canadian defender number 10 for McGill.
They'll get a reset here.
Liam Aston, one of the pair of attack All-Canadians. Oh, what a rip, spinning Aston. He's been fairly quiet today, but that is a thing of beauty.
McGill staying back in a zone there. So you'll see when teams play zone, they're playing spots on the field. He's going to come in here and attack between 5 and 20 on your screen. Roll back around. He's in the seam there. So anytime teams are in a zone, you're just trying to go where they ain't. And he does a good job of splitting between there and getting a good shot off. And Guelph again takes the lead. We've seen this back and forth several times now today. McDonald on the draw again. And Detweiler is back in. Big face-off here.
8:42 to go. The time ticking away. It is running time during the majority of play. Just the final 30 seconds of the first three quarters and the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. That pass handcuffs Weller, but he's going to run onto it. And then just gooses it ahead. Grabbed there by Aston, who scored the last goal to give the Griffins this 1-goal lead. And Aston underneath, drive stopped by Beam.
He'll go in the crease there. As soon as the player goes in the crease, it's an opposition ball.
So Beam's going to flick it across behind the net, and Meeks on the run. Baxter coming after him. Hard, heavy check. And Baxter wants a penalty as he took a return swat. And so many times you will get that retaliation.
Yeah.
You get the second one, but
one goal game in the fourth, but Baggataway, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You're almost mad if that we haven't had any of those today. You want to keep it consistent, and the officials have been doing a good job at that today.
Yeah, I got to give credit to Brad Garrow, Luke Coyle, and Darren Cassidy, the on-field officials.
So Cree's moving it up here.
Here,
big dodge.
Erbstein.
He likes the shot on the run. Shops it around.
Moralia keeps the ball moving. Cree with the pass across. Little swim dodge from Burrell. He scores. What a night for Rowan Burrell. How many is that?
He's got to have 6.
Got it.
Sock trick.
6 goals. Nobody's throwing their socks out. It's too cold. You need to keep them on.
Nobody's giving that up.
Unless you have some extra socks on your hands, you might toss them out.
I think it's more normal for him to just throw tornadoes and these twisters out, because that seems to be, he had his rip on the run there, but he is deadly accurate with that one.
Love seeing this young player making his progress.
And that's what it takes. Like, your guys got to be your guys, and right now he is doing just that. Big face-off coming up as we got just over 6 to play and tie 8-8 game here. McDonald again.
Big roll for him, and then gets off, putting the go in Fogo.
Busby again coming in on the wing to get the ball and dishing and getting off. Set up, wait for their guys to get on.
Taking their time in this tie game. Less than 6 to go in the fourth.
Steele will set up his dodge.
Setting a pretty high standard for excitement for this Baggataway weekend.
Nice inside move there.
Cree takes that pass, immediately checked up on, but fights his way through. Oh, what a shot. Little short arm rip. Just kind of let that one fly as he was getting hit.
Looked like he used the defender as a bit of a screen there. We've seen Cree's role being more of a facilitator. He's had a couple off the post here, but just gets inside. We'll bring it up again. Yeah, just shoots around as the slide comes, probably taking away goalie's vision there.
Virtually no windup, just letting it go. As it looked like, I thought he was going to swim dodge.
I thought he did too.
You know,
but defender in front, Hayne probably had a difficult time seeing that. Another big face-off coming up.
McGill goes up 9-8. Thanks for being with us on Lacrosse TV for Baggataway Cup weekend. Our second quarterfinal today is Trent and Brock at 7:30. Just under an hour and a half from now, but lots to happen in the final 4 minutes and 40 seconds of this game first. As we have the Redbirds of McGill 9, the Griffins of Guelph 8. Liam Aston looked at Ben Doherty, decides he's going to hang on to it. There's some pressure coming from Maverick Hozil.
See if they can't catch him on a hidden ball here, but they picked it up pretty quick.
Deesh down behind the net. Baxter looking to initiate. Quick pass.
McGill just extending in and out of that zone. Oh, he had the shot too.
Oh, the slide coming as Logan Glick was trying to get out on Baxter, but he got a heck of an opportunity, just missed it on the far side. And Aston is going to head over and get that one from way over in the corner as he scoops that ball up. That was a long pass into the wind, and I'm not sure how much the wind is affecting the passes, but definitely throwing into it, it can hold it up for that little split second.
Busby playing that monster backer roll in the middle. You see the defenders extending out when their player has the ball, but they're keeping it pretty tight in there. Daring the Griffs to shoot from outside.
Ethan Lee with the rocket. That one goes wide, and that might be a McGill possession. No, it's going to be Guelph. What a hustle attempt by Joseph Beam. Couldn't quite get there. It's always impressive, I think, when the goalie is the guy who gets the possession on the backup.
Got a broken stick on the field there.
So that's going to be Ethan Lee heading off. Has to get some new lumber.
I'm not sure what we got on the shot clock here, but I don't think that got a piece of the goalie on the way through.
Gavin Tebow comes out to join the attack.
Baxter wants this in his stick right now.
He has it, starting from X.
Watch for the flip play they've been running here. Oh.
The pass just gets away, and it's going to head out just wide of the pylon. And it will be possession for McGill. Meeks just points to the ball, says, go pick that one up, Maverick Hozil. We'll step onto the field, and away we go again. Under 3 minutes to play. In regulation time, it's 9-8 for McGill. They have possession. This is where, in the past, you'd often see this. That'd be it. You wouldn't even shoot again.
No, we'd have plays set up for this. You get it below the restraining, and you just run what we call and teams call their stall offense. Where now with the shot clock, it takes that away, which makes it a bit more exciting. They'll have to use the clock here for sure, but we'll take another stab at it. Shopping around, shots out to close out on the offensive player.
Up to Erbstein at the top. He is picked up.
Nice little feet there.
Moralia across to Burrell, the man of the hour for the Redbirds. He's given them this lead with his sock trick, although it was the Cree goal. Actually shoved them back in front.
Just under 2 to play. We'll see what he does here. Switches hands. Sails are over the net.
Just a bit high. And McGill going with 5 righties for the most part. And then Burrell, the only lefty, switches over to go righty. And it is a full house of right-handers at that moment for McGill. He is back to his normal dominant right or left-hand side. That shot's high as well.
I thought there nobody behind the goal line, though. Goalie is technically the closest, and that was very close to being a Guelph possession.
Yeah, it looks like they were saying that Mark Simon. No, they are actually. Oh, the shot clock just expired. You can hear it. You can't see it.
So we got 86 seconds here for the Griffs. Big pass up. Oh, he dropped the ball. Tough one there. McGill gets the ball back and gets a timeout.
Approaching the final minute, 1:08 to play. What a game. You can see the excitement on the sideline for the Redbirds.
Tough one there. Just hit the top of T-Bolt's stick, and McGill was able to scoop up that ground ball, get it back into the offensive half. They'll have a full shot clock.
Yeah, McGill taking the timeout. They can just eat it up. They don't have to shoot again. The CUFLA West All-Canadian face-off guy in Ryan Detweiler, but Sam McDonald, the honorable mention All-Canadian for the East, has been dominating today, and they are going to double team the ball, and they do have the goaltender out. Hayne is well up away from his net, and McGill, they elect not to shoot. That's where you wonder, do you take the shot and let McDonald try and win it back for you? But they decided to wait, keep the clock moving. Moralia handed it off, and here's Erbstein. Sorry, this is Josh Jewell with the ball. Down to 48 seconds. What a strip! Great play. Owen Williams, and now he's rumbling up into the offensive zone. Does Guelph? No, they've used both their timeouts, haven't they? I think they have. There's Deesh with a couple of big goals this game. Oh, no, there's the timeout. They do have one left.
And this is where the hindsight is always something. You know, there's that argument of don't go to the net. But then you see, like, you go to the net there, that takes it out of reach.
Yep.
And this is, again, the Baggataway Cup lacrosse.
Yeah, the strategy's so important, I'm sure. At this point, they're thinking, yeah, we should have put that in.
Right, and it's one of those now where that's just a good defensive play. I mean, the referees would have had the stall coming there, I'm sure. They would have had to get it back under the restraining line. But a great defensive check to get that ball on the turf. And we have seen this Guelph team with less time get the ball where it needs to be in the back of that mesh. So I'm sure this is territory that Sam has been in many, many decades for, and they'll have something prepped and ready to go here. You're looking for a Baxter or an Aston to have the ball in their stick here, and your guys to be your guys. So,
and you've talked about Sam Koskowski and his experience, and he is still probably the coolest looking coach in this league. With the hair is gone, definitely gray, but it's long, straight hair down to the shoulders. He just, I don't know, he looks like a guy you just want to hang out with. He's a good dude too.
Right, he does have the dude Jeff Lebowski haircut going right now. Nice guy, doing it for the right reasons, right? Trying to do stuff to be committed for that long. And
a CUFLA lifer, as we mentioned earlier. He'd never been coached in field lacrosse. Here's Guelph pushing. They're not going to wait. They don't have to wait for a late
we
shot.
Got a flag.
Is McGill going off? What's the call?
Two are going off.
Whoa.
I don't know what happened there, but a 6v4 right now. We got
an interference?
We got a pole coming in, so it'll be a 6v5.
Oh, okay. So one of the short sticks went off to get another pole out there, as you can have 4 on the field. 20 seconds. Guelph's got some time, but they will take the first good look they get. Comes to Volkov, looking to feed. There's a chance. Aston gave it up to Deesh. What a save. Aston now is thinking maybe he should have shot. They're going to go after Beam in the net, and that's going to be
that'll be a flag. You can't slash once the goalie's trapped the ball in the crease. No.
But, I mean, Robbie Baxter's thinking we've got 8 seconds. The ball's there, and we can do nothing about it. So that should wrap it up. Stay with us. Post-game incoming Commissioner Scott Fox will have Player of the Game presentations with prizes from Locker Hooks, which is a company owned actually by our new incoming Assistant Commissioner. We talked about Kevin Kaplis earlier, and it turns out I did have his name right. Mark Walker is our treasurer, and he was messing with me. He wasn't, somebody was messing with him. But Brandon McLean, who is a former player, went to McGill. He's been an assistant commissioner for years.
Yep.
He's living in Vancouver now, and he was ready to step aside and let somebody closer have a role. And Tom Bolesky has come on. So great to have him on board. But stick with us for the Player of the Game awards after. 5.7 seconds. What will Moralia do? He may just chuck it down the field.
Throw it in the air as high as you can, probably. So with that, they get a free clear with that penalty after the whistle.
He's going to go for a run. That's working out pretty well. Lots of pressure from Hoshman, but that will do it. The McGill Redbirds have pulled. That could be considered an upset. The number 3 seed. They will go on to face the Carleton Ravens tomorrow in an all-East semifinal number 1. What a game. McGill over Guelph. And remember, McGill did it without Dylan James for much of the second half after he went down with that apparent hamstring tweak.
Injury, yeah. McGill losing a couple players there, but what a back-and-forth game. Saw Guelph go ahead early. Tied after 1, but then Guelph go ahead 5-3. McGill made it 6-5, and she was back and forth till the end there. We had a couple changes of possession in under last minute and a penalty. Guelph goaltender there making a great save, and Beam ate that one up when he had to.
Look at this one.
Great ball movement.
Deesh with a couple of goals in the second half, and boy, he gets that last shot, and Liam Aston, you got to wonder if he's thinking, should I have shot that?
Oh,
very tight angle.
Tight angle for sure, but you know what, the McGill defender there also did a good job in getting real big, getting in that shooting lane, having him caused to go under low there. But you know what, it also took away Baxter, who was there on the crease too. So, I mean, these games never come down to one play, one instance. It's a collection of events. So. That was a Baggataway Cup Friday night game.
There you go. And we are so excited to have you all with us. Everyone who's watching on Lacrosse TV, thanks for being with us. We were really just humbled and blown away last year when we found out we had over 130,000 viewers to the games last year. We're going to have the incoming Commissioner, Scott Fox, will be presenting the Player of the Game Awards after the handshakes. The awards presented by Locker Hooks, Hogtown Lacrosse, and Champs. Champs, the home of maybe the world's best lattice fries.
And onion dip.
And onion dip. Well, yeah, I mean,
they do a mean chicken wing as well. The Lytles down there doing a great job. Champs Peterborough.
Hogtown Lacrosse has been a sponsor with us and a partner of the league, and lacrosse in the area for a long time as well.
Yeah, their owner Mike is a great guy, big supporter of the Trent lacrosse program as well.
There you go. And thanks to Locker Hooks with Tom Bolesky. So thank you all for watching. We're going to have the presentations of the players of the game shortly. We will have that every game here at the Baggataway Cup. What a finish, 9-8. And coming up, the next game will be quarterfinal number 2. That's at 7:30. That's an hour and 11 minutes from now Eastern time, as we don't roll the clocks back until Saturday night, Sunday morning. Make sure you get that one so we're on time for the final. But a 9-8 win for the Redbirds, and a real thriller. The second quarterfinal is a rematch of last year's championship game. The Trent won 12-3 in what I think was a pretty surprising win. Not that they won, but that it was a 12-3 game because Brock was really good. And Trent just team of destiny last year. Totally. They want to defend this one. They're going to be in tough for that with some injuries and some challenges. Everything went so perfectly for them. We will have the players of the game presented now by Scott Fox for there you see Rowan Burrell receiving the award for the McGill Redbirds. No question with the sock trick. Absolutely fantastic performance from Rowan Burrell.
Yeah, he really put the team on his back today and made his chances count. He did a fantastic job. You can see the 2 injured McGill players coming into the frame there, hobbling over to see their teammates, but it's good to see them, on the field and being able to join.
That is the agony and the ecstasy of the Baggataway Cup of any championship right there, with the player of the game getting his award and then the 2 hobbling players crutching along. And there is Robbie Baxter, whose season will end along with his Guelph Griffins teammates, but what a night he had. A terrific job. Thanks to Scott Fox coming in. Thanks to all of you for being with us here on Lacrosse TV at the 2023 Baggataway Cup. It's only going to get better. And join us in just over an hour for quarterfinal number 2, Trent and Brock, a rematch of last year's championship. I'm Stephen Stampley, Jeff McKinley, and everyone here at the Baggataway Cup at Trent University. We'll see you in just over an hour. Have a good time. Till then.